We're live now. Whoop, whoop. Hello. So, this is the ride review for Beau is Afraid. All right, where to begin with this movie? This movie is written by Ari Aster. He is also the writer and director of Hereditary and Midsummer. Did you do Midsummer? Yeah, Hereditary and Midsummer. And this movie does not disappoint in his insanity. It feels insane.
It is still very Ari Aster.
Yeah.
But it's not supposed to be a horror, and it wasn't, but there were still some horror-ish elements in it. Which is
well, it's kind of like, to me, it was very like mindfuck scary. Like, oh, sorry. Like this could be happening to several people, and it's totally like all in his head. Confusing, difficult to follow.
Yeah, actually, our friend Elsie compared it a little bit to I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yes. Oh, I liked that one too. I figured it out. That's the one I figured out, right?
Yeah.
You were like, what? Yes, it is really similar to I'm Thinking of Ending Things, mixed in with like
Yeah, a little more intense and a little more horror-like or whatnot.
Almost like Unsane. It reminded me a tiny bit of that.
That's a good one too.
So guys, this is like a psychological a psychological thriller that it was intense. It was I don't even know what kind of mindset you would have to go into with it.
Just go very
broad-minded.
Yeah, and no expectations. Don't.
I mean, buy yourself some popcorn.
Yeah, don't try to figure it out or have an idea of where it's going, because
you'll be truly disappointed.
Because you're not Ari Aster, and I think only Ari Aster knows where he wants his things going, where he wants to lead you. Yeah, it was.
Okay, so let's get to the yeah, it's a truly stumping movie. I thought it was really well written and directed. It was very sad to see all of the stuff that goes on in a person's mind. It was confusing in the sense that you don't know where the person's reality, ooh, you see that? The person's reality ends and actual reality is. So it goes in and out of like reality and his reality, his own brain. And you don't know, like they don't give clear definitions of where that line is. It's kind of, you just bounce around in the middle of confusion. And that's why I thought it was really brilliantly written, because I think to do that is difficult. Joaquin Phoenix is the main actor, and he's just a brilliant actor. He like truly gets into it. It was kind of cool to me to see the difference in his Joker and the different to this role. The physicality of it, but it's still kind of like a mental thing.
Yeah, they're still both like in mental, not good mental well-being situations or whatever. But I guess I don't even like this. This one's more familiar, I guess. Like it's more probably.
We're talking like major mama issues, guys.
Yeah,
like
in all the movies, they were all like family-related issues.
Family trauma.
Yeah.
But there are some parts in this movie that were just like, oh, Patti LuPone is his opposite, his mother. And so that is fascinating. She's a phenomenal actress also. They're both extremely believable. But you don't have to see this one in the theater. But I think it would actually keep your attention more in the theater than it would at home. Because if you're sitting at home for 3 hours, you're going to get on your phone while you're sitting on the couch and it'll be lost. Like, if your brain strays at all from where the movie is, you're going to lose it. And so Sal was taking some naps, and I wondered how it went with that. Like, you waking up in the middle of, like, wacky scenes. Like, how was that?
Well, I felt like I can't help but fall asleep, and it's not because the movie's boring or anything. It's just what happens with me. But for the most part, I felt like I kept listening, and then like I would hear something. I was like, "Wake up!" Like this is something
Important.
Yeah, is about
And it was me nudging him because he was snoring. And the people next to him were like, what's wrong with him?
Surround sound. I do feel like I missed some stuff, and I would try to like piece together stuff, but it's probably not as well pieced together as I think I'm doing. But either way, I still really enjoyed it because I'm a fan of. Sorry, I gotta.
A loogie?
I really enjoyed Hereditary and Midsummer, so I feel like he's 2 for 2. So I'm okay with this, with whatever he was gonna throw at us, maybe. And yeah, I didn't come out disappointed, but it's definitely different from the other ones, and longer, and a lot more little details, but.
Well, I kind of think that he's probably already received the credibility and the permission, you know? So it's just like, hey, I want to make a 3-hour-long movie, and people are like, nah, they're just not going to sit through it. But people that know already how he is are like, cool, yeah, I'm going to go sit through this. And then, so we did go with a couple of our friends, and she was saying, like, as soon as we got out, she's like, my brain hurts. Because it's intense. It truly is an intense movie. Very, very confusing. From I've heard others say now that it's not understandable. The ending was a little wonky to me.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to figure it out.
That's why I like doing these. These are more like the fresh thoughts that are reviews right out of the theater, pretty much.
Whoops, that was it.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, I mean, it's woo. Oh, so there's a parking right there. Really fascinating mindfuck. I enjoyed it. I actually want to watch it again when it comes out on movies, like streaming or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, from what I got from it is like with mental abuse, there's no for this particular character, there was no saving him. There was no help. And with money comes much power sometimes, and it's can be deceptive. You don't know who to trust, and I felt like he didn't know who to trust. Poor guy. This character, I really felt for him.
Yeah, I personally am very like I am not like, what do you call it? Fast and Furious, like family only. Like I'm of the type that family is doing shit to mess with you, then you don't need to keep them in their life. But I know, coming from a Hispanic background or city and culture, that's not always the case, and I think that because they're harming you, it can be out of love or whatnot, but not to me. I personally don't like to tolerate that, and that's kind of what the part that was semi-relatable in this, that was like, damn man, like the stuff that family does to get away with stuff, and I don't know, it's interesting. Fast and the Furious is totally opposite of that. I think they are, for the most part, more the happier family. Like, they do watch out for each other, and aren't screwing each other over in the what do you call it, like with trying to help you in the sense, or like doing things that hurt you and then saying that they're to help you or whatever, that type of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much.
So I am gonna spoil a little bit of it. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! It's just a tiny bit. But he goes to a therapist, and the therapist says, so you've been in the desert and there's a watering hole, and you go to this watering hole and it makes you terribly ill, makes you sick. So the next time that you're in the desert, are you going to go back to that same watering hole? Are you going to go back to that well? And he doesn't answer it, right? So that quote just really stuck with me, because in my experience, I do go back to that watering hole with the hope that it's going to treat me better the next time. And then I continue to go back to that watering hole. And so it has quickly made me realize that that's not okay. It's not okay to be mentally abused, for lack of a better term. Mentally,
yeah.
I don't know what the right word is.
I don't know what it is either, but I feel like there's probably like an actual clinical name for it, and then whatever layman terms is, and I'm sure those aren't going to want to coincide. Like if clinically it is called abuse, and your family is like, oh, I'm not, like, it's not abuse, I'm not like, yeah, the intention is obviously probably not to abuse, but whatever is happening,
well, it makes you, when it makes you feel like crap,
yeah,
it's
different.
not fine.
And sure, whether their intention was to abuse or not, like, it's still happening. And so I think you can address it, and if people want to change, then cool. Like, you want to change the behavior, great. If they don't want to change the behavior, they want to make you the problem, or that you're the sensitive one or whatever, then no, I don't think that's okay. And I think it's okay to cut people like that out of your lives.
Well, it's also like, would you let your child go through that? Right? So in my eyes, I wouldn't let if I was talking to 5-year-old Veronica, I wouldn't let her go back to that. That's ridiculous. You don't have to deal with that kind of stuff. Nor does my son, right? Like, I wouldn't. And then our friends brought it up too, is how would you guys deal with, how would you all deal with,
Melissa.
yeah, she's off already, but she joined. How would you all deal with, like, adult bullying? I think that's fascinating.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really see that a lot, but I'm sure it exists. And I think it'd be interesting to see how other people deal with that. There was a situation that just recently occurred here in El Paso too. The guy that got electrocuted. And so it was telling me that it apparently was like a bullying incident or something, right?
Something similar. Right?
That
they were throwing rocks at
they were throwing rocks and
person up on the pole, and then I don't know, one of the rocks landed well enough to make them fall, and on the way down hit the electrical wires. At least that was my understanding of it. It was a brief headline. I could be wrong, but that's what.
I don't know. But that's not okay. It's not okay. This is the same shit that we talked about last time. When we saw Dear Evan Hansen. It's not okay to be a bully. And one of our other friends, the same one that had gone with us, said something really nice. It's like, don't stoop to another person's level, right? So even if you are being bullied, like, why are you gonna bully back or anything like that? Like, not to take it either, but set your boundary, and I don't know.
Yeah.
There are different ways to deal with it.
Yeah, I think context is very important to me. So, like, I am not of that mindset. Like, sometimes I will stoop down to certain levels, but it is after a very long time. Like, it's not just going to be my first instinct. And sometimes I think I have to dumb it down to your level because we speak different languages, so I need to speak the language that you might understand. But that's just my personal opinion on the situation. And again, if you get pushed and pushed and pushed, and then you finally do something back, and then somebody sees that as the first time, then taking it out of context, to me it feels like, oh look, this person's being a total jerk, like after they only did this or whatever. Like, yeah, that's the only part you're seeing, but there was a bunch of stuff beforehand or whatnot. And so, yeah, I don't know, context is important.
Yes. Hey! Hi, everybody.
Hoopy it. Denny Nat, how's it going, Denny Nat? And Sled Up 734, I think you're new to our group. Welcome. We're talking about, we just saw, I was gonna say Midsummer, but not Midsummer. Beau is Afraid. And it was a very trippy experience. I definitely recommend it, but go in with no expectations. Don't try to predict the plot line. Don't try to predict where it's going. Just enjoy the ride.
Maybe have a couple of shots and a couple of ashwagandhas before you go in.
I guess, yeah, it would be also go in a good mental state, and you're feeling pretty good or pretty neutral. Maybe not, well, I guess if you're going good, expected that you might not be coming out with as good a feeling that you had walking in, but it was definitely,
I liked what it did to the audience. So the audience at the very end was just kind of silent. Like, nobody did anything. Everybody was just kind of like, what the fuck did I just see?
Yeah.
And it was cool. I liked that. I'm going to say that the writing of it and directing was, and the acting was incredible. Difficult to follow, but sorry, I never face it at me. Difficult to follow, but really, really great. Again, go in with no expectation.
Also go when you're awake, because I kept dozing off a little bit, and it's not, again, not because it's boring, I just fall asleep at like every
It's just
movie.
it's just not conducive to the plot either. It's different. Oh, it's not conducive to the plot. It's difficult.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything else?
No, I think I'm done. If y'all have any questions, if you want to talk about it after you see it, please message us. I think it would be so fun to talk about it.
Leave a comment on this video after it posts or whatnot.
Yeah. All right. We're all done here.